Have you ever wondered what it truly means to say that God is the Father of all? We often hear that phrase, and we often hear that human beings are made in the image of God. But many times these ideas are treated like small theological details rather than something profound. What if they are not minor ideas at all? What if they are actually telling us something essential about who God is and who we are? The Bible begins with the astonishing claim that humanity is made in the image and likeness of God. That statement appears in Genesis 1, and it is one of the most foundational claims in all of Scripture. But what exactly does image mean? Many people treat it as a vague spiritual concept, but the Bible itself gives us an important clue. The only other place where the exact language of image and likeness appears together is in Genesis 5, where we read that Adam fathered a son in his own likeness, according to his image, and named him Seth. In other words, the Bible itself uses this language to describe the relationship between a father and a son. That connection is not accidental. The language of image and likeness in the Bible is deeply relational and familial. Just as a son bears the resemblance of his father, humanity bears the resemblance of God. We are not simply products of divine power, we are reflections of divine life. From the very beginning, Scripture frames human existence in terms of relationship to God, not distance from Him. This is why the New Testament can speak about God's fatherhood in such sweeping terms. In Acts 17, the Apostle Paul stands in the city of Athens and addresses a group of pagan philosophers. These are not Christians. These are not members of the covenant people of Israel. Yet Paul does something remarkable. He quotes their own poets and says, "We are also His offspring." Paul does not limit that statement to believers. He speaks of humanity itself as God's offspring. His argument is that because we are God's offspring, we should not imagine that God is something lifeless like gold or stone. The point only works if the statement is universal. Paul is grounding human dignity and accountability in the fact that all human beings derive their life from God as their Father. But perhaps the most striking passage appears in Ephesians. In Ephesians chapter 4, Paul urges believers to maintain unity, and he grounds that unity in a series of great affirmations. One body, one spirit, one hope, one Lord, one faith, one baptism. And then he says something very deliberate: one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. Notice the language carefully. Paul does not say Father of the elect or Father of believers only. He says the God and Father of all. And he expands it with three sweeping statements: over all, through all, and in all. This is not narrow language. This is cosmic language. It describes God's relationship to the whole of humanity and indeed to the whole created order. This does not deny the importance of salvation or the need for redemption. The New Testament certainly speaks about adoption, reconciliation, and restoration. But redemption does not create a relationship out of nothing. Redemption restores a relationship that already exists in a broken form. A lost child does not stop being a child. The tragedy is precisely that the relationship has been fractured. And this is where Christ comes into the picture in a profound way. In Colossians chapter 1, Paul describes Jesus as the image of the invisible God. Christ is the perfect image, the flawless revelation of the Father. What humanity was meant to reflect dimly, Christ reflects perfectly. The Son shows us the Father in fullness. But this also reveals something remarkable about humanity itself. If Christ is the image of God in perfection, and humanity was created in that same image, then Christ reveals the truth about what humanity was always meant to be. He is not simply an isolated exception to humanity. He is the true human, the one in whom the image shines without distortion. When we put all of these passages together, a powerful picture emerges. Humanity is created in God's image. That image is described in familial terms. Paul declares that all people are God's offspring, and he calls God the Father of all, who is over all, through all, and in all. This means that the story of salvation is not about God deciding to become a father to a small group of people. It is about the Father reclaiming his family.